What happens when a true people's champion is gone too soon? The boxing world has been left in shock as one of Britain's most beloved fighters, Ricky the Hitman Hatton, has tragically passed away at the age of just 46. Known not only for his grit inside the ring, but also for his charisma and down-to-earth personality, Hatton's death has sent waves of grief across the sporting world. Today, we're looking back at the life, the career, the triumphs, and the struggles of a man who will forever be remembered as one of boxing's greatest and most relatable champions. Authorities confirmed that Ricky Hatton was found at his home, and while the details remain limited, police have stated that his passing is not being treated as suspicious. The news immediately sent shockwaves across both boxing and British sports communities. For millions of fans, it feels like losing not just a fighter but a friend, a man who embodied what it meant to be the people's champion. Ricky Hatton's story is the kind of tale that captures both the glory and the heartbreak of professional boxing. Over the span of a 15-year career, Hatton captured world titles in two separate weight divisions, light welterweight and welterweight, an achievement that placed him among the elite. He fought 48 times professionally, winning 45 of those bouts, with many of them being unforgettable wars inside the ring. His relentless style, his signature body shots, and his never-quit attitude earned him both respect from his opponents and admiration from fans all over the world. One of the defining moments of Hatton's career came in 2005, when he squared off against the legendary Kostya Tszyu in Manchester. At the time, Tszyu was one of the most feared fighters in the world, but Hatton, cheered on by a raucous home crowd, produced one of the greatest performances in British boxing history. By the end of the fight, Hatton's hand was raised in victory, and he had captured the IBF light welterweight title. That night was more than just a win. It was the birth of a national hero. Another career highlight was his thunderous knockout of Jose Luis Castillo in 2007. It was a fight that showcased Hatton at his absolute best, powerful, aggressive, and determined. The left hook to the body that ended the fight was a thing of beauty, and it reminded the world why Ricky Hatton was not just another champion, but a fighter who could electrify audiences in ways few others could. But perhaps what truly cemented Hatton's legacy was his willingness to step into the ring with the best of the best. He faced two of boxing's greatest icons, Floyd Mayweather Jr. in 2007 and Manny Pacquiao in 2009. Though he came up short in both contests, those fights elevated his status to the global stage. The bout against Mayweather was especially memorable. Tens of thousands of British fans traveled to Las Vegas, turning the American city into a sea of blue and white. Few fighters have ever brought such a passionate following overseas. Even in defeat, Hatton's courage and determination earned him lasting respect. Beyond the numbers, beyond the belts, Ricky Hatton was adored because he was real. Fans connected with his humble beginnings, his sense of humor, and his approachable nature. Despite fame and fortune, he never lost touch with his Manchester roots. He was the kind of fighter who would grab a pint with fans after a fight, laugh, and share stories. That accessibility made him special. He wasn't just Ricky Hatton, the world champion. He was Ricky from Manchester, the lad everyone felt they knew. Tributes have poured in from every corner of the boxing world and beyond. Fellow British star Amir Khan described Hatton as a friend, a mentor, a warrior. Heavyweight champion Tyson Fury declared, "There will only ever be one Ricky Hatton." Rising star Ellie Scottney said Hatton's impact on the sport will forever live on. Even Manny Pacquiao, who famously knocked Hatton out in 2009, remembered him warmly, calling him both a great fighter and a kind man in life. These messages reveal the depth of the respect Hatton commanded, not just for his skills, but for the man he was outside the ring. Fans, too, have shared countless memories online. Many spoke about his willingness to sign autographs, pose for pictures, or simply chat with them without hesitation. They described him as funny, genuine, and someone who truly cared about his supporters. That's why he wasn't just seen as a fighter, but as the people's champion. Even his beloved football club, Manchester City, honored him in a powerful tribute. During the derby match against Manchester United, fans held a minute of appreciation for Hatton, with the stadium echoing as supporters sang Blue Moon, the anthem that connected Hatton to his team and to his city. It was a poignant moment, one that showed just how deeply embedded Hatton was in Manchester's identity. But Hatton's story wasn't only about glory. It was also about struggle, resilience, and honesty. After his career setbacks, particularly the loss to Pacquiao, Hatton battled with depression and mental health challenges. He was open about his struggles, admitting that he faced some of the darkest moments of his life after boxing. And yet, instead of hiding it, he used his platform to raise awareness and to encourage others to seek help. In doing so, Hatton became an inspiration, not just for what he achieved inside the ring, but for his courage outside of it. In later years, Hatton turned to coaching and exhibitions, staying close to the sport he loved. He guided young fighters, passing on his knowledge and experience, and continued to appear in the boxing scene, always greeted with respect and affection. His presence reminded fans that while his fighting days were behind him, his influence was still alive and strong. Now, as tributes continue to pour in, one thing is clear. Ricky Hatton's legacy is about far more than titles or knockouts. It's about heart. It's about a fighter who gave everything he had, not just in the ring but to his fans, his community, and his sport. He lived as a warrior and remained a man of the people until the very end. At just 46 years old, his life ended far too soon. But the memories, the fights, the moments of glory, and the inspiration he gave will live on forever. As Tyson Fury said, there will only ever be one Ricky Hatton. And he's right. Hatton was one of a kind, a champion, a friend, and above all, a man who showed us that even heroes can be human. Rest in peace, Ricky the Hitman Hatton. You may be gone, but your legacy will never be forgotten.